Hello and welcome to Henry and Friends Live. We take you to locations throughout New York City. Here we are in Lincoln Square, and believe it or not, I have literally bumped into a dear friend of mine who also happens to be a Tony and Olivia producer, award-winning producer for Broadway. Marc Levine, in you come. Hello.
Henry, good to see you.
How
Yay.
fantastic. It's wonderful to see you as well.
Welcome to New York.
Thank you. Well, we want to welcome everybody that's listening and viewing into our show. You are a profoundly impactful producer in Broadway. Say I've just come off the plane from wherever I am in the world. What's the best way for me or anyone listening to this to actually buy tickets to be involved in Broadway? What's your first thing you should do?
First thing you should do is always check out the Broadway or Off-Broadway's website. A lot of shows offer something called rush tickets, where the day of the performance, the afternoon, if it's a matinee, or the evening, you can go right to the theater, a few hours beforehand, and they offer student discounts, sometimes discounts for people that are no longer students. So I always find that a great way. If you come to New York and you're not really sure what you want to do, it's a great way to get tickets.
And is that on Times Square? Where do you get them?
You can go to each individual theater, and you can go on the show's website. Another great resource for tickets in New York is to go to TKTS, which is right in Times Square.
Yes.
Day of, now they do day before the performance. You can go and get 50% off tickets to most all the shows.
So then my next question is, okay, then, you're a producer of shows, and we're going to get to yours in a moment. How do I know that the show I'm about to buy tickets to, because my time here in New York is short, how do I know I'm going to the right play, the right show?
It's really hard. Everybody likes something different. Some people like revivals. So, Moulin Rouge is on Broadway now. A wonderful show based on the movie. This fall we have Almost Famous. That great movie, Almost Famous, is being made into a musical. There are some spectacular plays that are opening soon. Audra McDonald, 6-time Tony Award winning actress, is coming in to Broadway in a brand new play called Ohio State Murders, which is written by a 92-year-old female BIPOC director who's making her Broadway playwright debut at the age of 92. Then the piano lesson is here.
So your advice is make sure that you're going to something where you've got passion.
That's correct. If you like a musical, there's musicals. If you like plays, there's plays. Revivals. There is something for everybody in New York.
So then my question to you is, it's not every day that you actually meet a producer of Broadway shows, especially when you're coming from other parts of the world. What is it like having the responsibility of getting a Broadway show up? How much stress is involved? How much responsibility is involved?
It's a passion project. I've loved theater since I was a kid. I am so honored to be part of the Broadway community for the past 6 or 7 years, and to have the opportunity to help bring so many great shows to Broadway and to Off-Broadway and even to London. So it's an exciting, New York is great, Broadway is back, it's vibrant, we're alive, we are ready, and we are so happy to have run into one of my most favorite people.
And there's feelings mutual. Literally, we bumped into each other on 9th Avenue. You've got a meeting across the plaza here from Lincoln Square, just that way, because you're going to be having literally a startup of another Broadway show that they've invited you to see.
That's correct.
I've got a couple more questions to ask you.
Sure.
What's your take on Manhattan? The media says Manhattan's seen better days, it's dirty, there's so much homelessness, but you're a true New Yorker. You really are. What's your experience of Manhattan? What can a visitor expect, and why should people come to visit here?
People should come to New York because New York is one of the greatest cities on earth, and it's beautiful. Don't listen to all that. Come for yourself. See a show, eat in our great restaurants, and you'll love it. And if not, you could send me a message at...
And you'll be here to help them.
I will be here to help you. Any friend of Henry's who listens is a friend of mine.
So there's about 5,000 to 7,000 people that watch this show, so we know where to go.
You know where to go.
I've got 2 more questions to ask you, and that is, number 1, what shows, you've got Tony Awards. I was actually visiting you the other day, and you said, and it just nonchalantly came into the delivery room. Tell us the 2, is it 2 Tonys you won?
Yeah, a few years ago I won a Tony for the musical Hadestown.
Yes.
Which hopefully will be coming to many different countries.
Yes.
You'll have the opportunity to see it if you don't get to see it in New York.
Yes.
And last year, the revival of Company, starring Patti LuPone, won Best Musical.
When they announced that your show has won the Tony, how can you describe that feeling?
Oh my! It's so exciting. It's great for the investors who invest, for the theater-going public who got to see these great shows, who will continue to get to see these shows.
And Mark, how can somebody, have you got a website on somewhere that somebody can land to learn more about you?
Sure. My Instagram is Marc, M-A-R-C D Levine, Levine.
Yes.
Or you can follow us at Gemini Theatrical, both on Instagram.
Yes.
And since
That's
you're a
link,
special person in my
Yes.
life, I will give you a sneak clue into what we think is going to be the next big up-and-coming musical. And that is called Fly More Than You Fall, which is also on Instagram at Fly More Than You Fall.
So the question is, before we say thank you so much for the exclusive interview, how would you describe, if I asked you in 3 words, 3 separate words, how you would describe Manhattan? What are those 3 words?
Dynamic, spectacular, appealing.
Dynamic, spectacular, appealing. You've heard it directly here first, exclusively. Marc David Levine, Henry Samuel Weinreich saying, whatever you do, go and see one of Marc's amazing plays. Come visit New York.
Cheers, mates. Hope to see you in New York.
Bye for now.